What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Dr. Funk live show. Make sure to go ahead and send out the link to your groups, to other people. Let them know that we are live. Thank you guys so much for subscribing on YouTube, on iTunes, on Apple Music, and tuning in live and watching us on the playback. Tonight, we have the wonderful and talented DJ Lenka Paris in the mix and other people that attended Paisley Park After Dark tonight. We weren't able to test everyone before the show, so when we say live, we'll see what happens. But we're really looking forward to it. Still hope to do an after show as well. Lenka should be able to see your comments. But I thank you guys so much for being here. We had a ridiculously hot weekend in LA, the hottest one on record. I should have been in Minneapolis, but I'm trying to be safe. No social distance dance parties for me. But speaking of social distance dance parties, we're gonna bring on Lenka, and then we're gonna talk about Paisley Park After Dark and bring people on that were that. Then we're gonna get back and focus on Lenka and her relationship with Prince. But for right now, let's get right to it. Here is the one, the only, DJ Lenka Paris. What is up, Lenka?
I am on. Hi.
Yes.
This is fancy. This is really fancy. I have been trying to figure out for so long how to do this when I go on Twitch, and I cannot do it.
Yeah, so we got all three live right now, and then some.
This is really great. I don't see any comments yet. Oh wait, I think I have it set to private. Do I have to check the comment section?
Yep.
There are comments. Okay.
Yep.
Did somebody say, is that your birthday? Somebody said happy birthday.
Mine was in August.
Okay.
I think
in March.
This year, yeah, this year all our birthdays are all mixed up, right?
So we don't even know.
Maybe there's someone else who said it.
2020.
So how are you, Lenka?
I am doing good.
Uh-oh. No, your microphone went out for me. How are you?
My microphone went out. I am well. I'm starting my day. It's morning time for me. So I have coffee now. I graduated to tea. Now I have tea. So yeah.
That's what I'm drinking right now.
But I'm good. I've got sunglasses on because of my morning eyes, and we both have prints.
Trust me.
I can see your prints right now. I can see a little bit of the symbol over there. And you can see my whole print.
Yeah, the brain poster
yes,
and that.
There.
Yeah. And trust me, if it wasn't for makeup, I'd be wearing sunglasses too. But it's Brian Sayer's birthday today. Happy birthday, Brian. So there we go.
Brian, right. Happy birthday, Brian. Brian or Ryan? Brian. Okay, see, I am far from the comments. I don't want to get too close to the screen because you will see my morning face as well. All right, this is fun. I am loving this. Okay.
And we have other people that will be joining us that were at Paisley Park After Dark. I see you guys. No one else can see, but we will be bringing you on. And my Siri keeps trying to annoy me right now. But so, Paisley Park After Dark, and the first one since the pandemic, quarantine, COVID. How was, being the first one to DJ for that? How was that, especially at Paisley Park?
It was, first it was unexpected. I woke up to, was it an email or text message? I was like, what? I didn't even expect that, a gathering of that sort will be. I thought it was going to be only the tours when people are just sort of distanced. A party was not anything that I would expect. So Paisley Park After Dark, the first, this is the thing, the first one, since this was the first one in a soundstage for me, the first one in a soundstage since I did one when Prince was around. Because the ones that were in Love from One Another Room, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. The ones that were in a Love for One Another Room / NPG Music Club room, as they, I think, call it now, the ones that were a part of the tour, when people, when Graceland had Paisley Park under their management, and it was, you would have to take a tour, and then you would have to, then you would go to the party. So those started happening after Prince passed. But as far as like a party of its own in the soundstage. Honestly, the last one was, oh God, 2015, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. 2015.
2015.
No, yeah, 2015. It must have been 20. So 5 years. So it was and when I found out, I didn't know when they told me it's going to be in a soundstage, and then later on I found out, okay, it's a separate ticket. It is just a party. It is what it was, 5 years ago, and I honestly got a little emotional. It was, yeah, it was a little different, and that was also the first time I played on that stage. My very, very first time I played on that stage, because somebody, oh, this is so cool. Hey, Marcia. I'm just seeing things pop up on the screen, and I get really,
No problem. I'm putting it on there and trying to
little
figure out other
ADHD.
people's.
So
Hey,
because it was always, like Prince would play, so the band was set up on a main stage, and when I DJ'd in a sound stage, I'd be across the room. So basically, it was like a little area next to the soundboard set up, and on one side of it there were couches with people sitting, and on the other side there were also couches, but the DJ booth. So I would be looking directly at the band, but I'd be in the back of the room. And now I was on the actual main stage, which felt awesome and kind of scary at the same time, because it's such a big stage. There are instruments around me, and I'm not exactly, I'm tall, but felt like a little person in the middle of it with, not much of a performance, because when you are a DJ, you are more of you just, you are behind the board. You are not exactly jumping around, dancing around, entertaining the crowd. So it felt very, very big around me, but it was an amazing experience.
And how different was it with people having to wear a mask and social distance? I saw a video of it, but I'm just asking from your eyes and your perception, how was it?
Very, very.
Very different.
Yeah, I am still not used to it. I don't think I ever will be. I'm hoping it's not gonna, be forever. But yeah, from my end, I felt like an alien, and not just with that. I felt that way when I went to DJ, a couple of nights at the W before it opened and it closed again, because I had sunglasses and a mask on. So I was just sort of like, okay, I can't see, and I'm breathing sort of whatever, But then sea of masks. It is. I don't quite know how it made me feel. Yeah, it is very different.
But did at least the familiar surrounding of Paisley Park and being in the soundstage area, did that bring you a little bit of comfort?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. For me, and the social distancing, I didn't even feel that being that strange, because there were many, many parties that Prince would announce an hour before the party started, right? So, excuse me. So there were many parties when Prince would play for 20 or 30 people at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was normal for the room to be somewhat empty. So that actually almost reminded me of the old times. It's just the masks that was a little weird, but
a little different.
It is what it is, yeah. And
for sure. Now, was there anything, because I know like you saw familiar faces there, albeit like it was hard to see them with the mask until they got a little bit closer, but it's good feeling that energy and those other things, right?
Yes, absolutely. And the people, just the love, it was. Oh, I see Stephanie over here. See, I get so sidetracked. Must have been a wild feeling seeing everyone dancing with masks. Yes, it was a wild feeling. I'm so close to the camera. Am I too close to the camera?
It's fine. I'll try to bring some of the comments on screen so it makes it easier for you to see.
This is fun.
So, yes.
Yeah, and also for me, the sound system. The sound system was, oh God, Paisley Park has the best sound system. It really does. It is my favorite to even listen to or play on. Nothing sounds like it. I have not heard a venue
Right.
better than, yeah.
Than that. Why am I hearing Taylor Swift? Am I the only one hearing that right now?
It's not me.
It's my thing.
My
Yeah,
new
it's
song. Are you listening to Taylor Swift when you're
hilarious.
doing a Prince show? Oh my God, Doc.
It's coming on in my headphones. I'm hoping no one else is hearing it. I don't understand what's going on, but I'm hearing it.
I think I am playing.
I have no idea where it's coming from, but we'll figure it out.
If I stop this, I'm playing
we'll
South right now. I'm playing the new. Oh, I shouldn't say that, right? Because we're on Facebook. I'm not playing anything. I'm playing nothing.
Everyone else, as long as no one else is hearing it but me, we should be good.
Okay,
But
I have it super low. I am not hearing Taylor Swift.
I am. That's what's hilarious. And I have no idea where it's coming from.
Okay,
but as long as no one else is hearing it, we'll get into it, and we're going to be bringing people on that were at Paisley Park. People want to know, where are you right now? But you're in Minneapolis at your place, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you're at Paisley Park in a secret room.
No, I am not at Paisley Park right now. No.
Yes.
I'm in front of my wall, my temporary wall, until I move this live streaming station into my bedroom. So we will have intimate painted purple. And
that's good.
A bunch of people in my bedroom every Friday.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start bringing people on screen that were at Paisley, and then we're going to get to other things. I see people bringing up First Avenue and then your experience, but we'll get into that right now.
Yes.
We're going to bring on Delisha first, who was at Paisley Park After Dark, who hopefully as well isn't hearing what I'm hearing in the headphones of Taylor Swift. Here's Delisha.
I remember her.
How are you doing?
Hi, babe.
How are you?
I am good. I slept. Finally, I'm recovered. I don't have a mask on. Right. I still have sunglasses on because these are my morning eyes, and I really did not feel like putting on any mascara or anything, so I just opted for this. Yeah, that's what I do in my living room. I just put on sunglasses randomly at 8 o'clock in the evening and walk around now.
I can dig it, though. It's a good look for you.
How are you?
So
I'm good. How are you? And I have to say, it's an honor to be speaking to you both, because I follow you both on social media. So I am very grateful that you guys had me on. So.
Oh, she is so
there
sweet.
You go.
She was so sweet. And are you in New York?
So no, I'm in Baltimore. So I actually last weekend was my very first time in Minneapolis, my first time at Paisley Park. So I got like the ultimate Prince experience last weekend. I just happened to go there on a whim, and while I was looking at tickets for the tour, I saw that they announced the party at Paisley Park, and I was like, is that the same weekend? So I was like, oh my God, I got to get a ticket. So
Wow.
Yeah, it just all it was happenstance, and I had the absolute time of my life. Like, that was everything that I needed, because, with the pandemic and everything, traveling and going places has been really hard, but I was kind of getting a little stir crazy. So I just decided to fly to Minneapolis and finally do my whole Prince thing and go and see his old high school and some of the old places that he used to live and things of that nature. But the party was absolutely amazing. I had so much fun, and I can't believe I danced in 6-inch heels all night. So
oh my God, you did?
That let me know that you did a good job, because I had my flats on standby, but luckily I didn't need them. So
oh my God, that's crazy. I did not know. See, I couldn't see anything in those glasses. I was just sort of like remembering where my buttons are. I didn't see much, but it worked. She was so fun. She was really
yeah, you did an amazing job. So kudos to you. Thank you very much.
I was a little nervous, because this was like, oh God, the first time I played something that loud in a very long time. By the time I go and I live stream in the middle of the night, I have the speakers very, very low. So I hear my headphones, and all of a sudden I have loud music around me. That was the energy of it. I was so, I was so happy.
No.
And also, I'm going to say this on air. For anybody who was there, I apologize for my 2 little glitches. You know,
Oh, I didn't
dance,
even.
music, sex, romance, and one more because I have. Okay, so when I started live streaming, my station here is set up much lower than my normal DJ booth anywhere is, and I got used to making certain movements with my arms, right?
Mhm.
And now the DJ booth was higher. I mean, by I would say a foot higher. So whenever I went from my computer and I wanted to type in anything, I had to pretty much pay attention to my elbow the whole time. And the 2 times that I did not pay attention to my elbow, it dropped directly on top of the turntable. And right in the beginning, it goes, everybody. I'm like, oh, shit, this is
I
bad.
was slightly inebriated, so I don't even remember it. So you did a good
Okay.
job.
So, and I'm gonna say it here also. I did record it. I recorded my set, but I didn't listen to it yet. And I'm gonna go through it. If I can clean up those glitches, and if it sounds good, I'm gonna put it online so that people who weren't there they
Me
can
too. Yes.
listen to it. But
That would be
I have
awesome.
no idea. It might be all distorted. I have no clue. So we'll try.
But thank you so much. Thank you for having me on the show, and you did an amazing job. That was my first time, but it will definitely not be my last time. So thank you very much.
Yes. Perfect. I
Thank
hope to see you
I'm
again.
glad that you had a good time.
Yeah.
Yep. We want to see you again. Lenka does, and I do. And hopefully, you'll be at Paisley for
Yes.
sure.
Yes, you will definitely see me again.
All right. Well, I'm glad that you had an amazing experience, and thank you so much for taking time out to join us. It's really appreciated.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you for allowing me to be on the show.
There we go.
She's so sweet. You are so sweet. You
Thank
really
you.
are.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
No, thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Okay.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.
You too. This is
All right.
Nancy. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I need to get
I was trying to get more people on at once, but I have no idea where that damn music is coming from. But
Is
at
it still
least you guys
Taylor?
aren't hearing it.
Okay. It's not.
No, it's something else now, but I have no idea why it's playing.
I bet it's
But as
hitting
long-
maybe one more time.
You know, let me. I'm going to bring someone else on, but let me try really quick, just because I'm glad that you guys can't hear it. But maybe it's my iTunes.
I'm reading. Oh my God. I'm reading comments now. This is fun.
No.
What glitches? I never noticed anything. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I was beating myself up for them for 3 days. Okay, I didn't hear any glitch.
That's
You
good.
didn't hear glitch? Okay, good. That's very good. Well, if I put the recording out the way it is, you would hear it definitely. Hope it sounds good. Please put it online. Lenka. Oh, you guys are so sweet. You really are. This is my first time, by the way. I don't really know much about what I am doing, so I'm just sort of sitting here and
We're gonna
talking.
figure
And
it
Doc's
out.
probably a little laughing, and he's like, "I'm never gonna have her on again. This is just terrible."
It's fine. Let me we're gonna bring in Dorothy, who lives in Minneapolis now, and she was
yeah.
at Paisley Park after dark this weekend. So let's bring in Dorothy Inez. Hey Dorothy. How are you doing?
Hi, Dorothy.
Hey, so y'all,
Thank you
so
for
y'all
all the
There she is.
know.
videos.
Can you hear me?
Thank you for my Kiss on Steroids video.
Yes.
That you did,
Yes.
because that's my favorite. God, I forgot.
Wow.
I looped that so many times. That's terrible. But no, it's not terrible. It's fun. I like it. I like it.
It was
Thank you.
good. It was good. I had so much fun with you, Lenka. I have missed you because I was like a regular on Friday or
Yeah.
Saturday night. So I've
Mhm.
missed you. And we had such a great time at Paisley on Saturday dancing. My body was needing it. It was craving it. So it was super, super awesome. And just seeing all the people, Delisha, she was out there, she was dancing in those high heels, slightly inebriated, having a good time out there for sure. So Jeremiah,
I had no idea
in
that girl
there.
had 6-inch heels on. Jeez.
Oh yeah, right there in front of the stage, but you had your third eye, your glasses on, you weren't seeing anything. You were
I
just
know.
with your groove on as always. So I just enjoyed it, and everybody enjoyed it. It was just good to be back in the house, and I just loved how Paisley really did a great job of keeping everything nice, and I felt really safe in the building.
Yeah.
And everybody just honored the rules, and it was just a great time. It was just good to see everybody.
Yeah. And I have to give a shout out to the Paisley staff.
Yeah, they did an
The group
amazing
of
job.
people that are running it now, that amazing group of people. They are just, not only they are such professionals, but such sweet people. Also, something happened. Doc is not on the screen. Look at this. He left us.
He's working on getting his music.
Exactly. Trying to get the music.
I actually like the music on because it's like that nice jazzy feel in the background.
That's me. That's not his Taylor. That is the news album by Prince, currently playing South. Oh shit! I just said that again. I shouldn't be saying that because Facebook can mute us.
They won't mute you, girl. They won't mute you. But yeah, I can't wait for you to do another night and get us all back together and dancing and moving our bodies, especially as we start going into this cold. I don't know when the next one's coming.
Yeah.
They said something was coming, soon, but I don't know what that is. But I'm looking forward to it. You did amazing.
Thank you. I think what they are probably doing, but my guess is that they are playing by ear now, because my voice is going in and out. They are playing by ear. I think they wanted to see how the first one will go, with the social distancing and how how everything is gonna go. So, but everyone was very respectful, and we kept the distance. We took that one little selfie, but other than that, everything was good. And yeah.
Yeah, I came in there with a shield on. I had danced the night before. Don't laugh, Jeremiah. I had danced. I had my blinged out shield on because I was ready to get my groove on, and I was not about to have that mask blocking, getting all sweaty and stuff. Needed to have the makeup looking cute, for Lenka. So, but anyways, I had a really good time, Lenka, and thank you so much for always bringing the energy. Had fun with my girls. Kim, I see Kim's online. Just had a great time dancing and interacting with people, because after all these months, you just, you get kind of lonely.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it. I'm dancing with Pecan Yoshi here. I mean, you start doing crazy things.
Yeah. And then Craig was in the house. Audrey Johnson was in the house. It was great. It was. Everybody. It was just amazing atmosphere.
Mm-hmm. And Dorothy, you've attended Paisley Park After Darks before COVID, what we're going through, correct?
I did.
How different was this one, and how was the energy?
So this one the energy was a little bit different. It's while it was still good, it wasn't as, people were keeping their distance and everything like that. And so people weren't coming together as closely as we normally would. So it was a different kind of energy, but yet the energy was still high because of what Miss Lenka Paris was doing on the turntables up there. And just the fact that we were just happy to see each other. So it definitely was a different kind of energy, but yet still fun. I think we were all just glad to get the heck out of the house. So that was the difference for me. And then I loved how, they, like Lenka was saying, the staff just we had this circle. We had to, you went out and came in. It was like this circle you went around, which kept you, people not coming super close to each other unless you wanted it, you wanted that it was somebody that you knew. But I was honestly impressed, Jeremiah, about how everybody really kept their mask on and respected the rules of the house. That was impressive. Yeah.
That's a good thing, because we want to make sure there's more of these, for sure.
Yeah, nobody was, hella drunk or acting a fool. It was just it was nice. They were respecting the rules and respecting the house and jamming to the music.
That's always a good thing. So,
yeah, I see Brother Craig down there.
See, my comments, I'm fixing them. They are not moving on their own. I think I have to come on, computer.
Yeah, you have to, if you're going back, you can do it on the floor, but I am trying to bring ones that'll make it easier for you to do. I'm trying to do a million things, Lenka and Dorothy Inez, to get people on. So I'm sorry if I'm doing that, but
It's
No,
part
no,
of,
you're doing with
no.
the live
part
show.
of production of the live show.
Do you have like a
One
line
day
of
I'll
people
have an
that-
assistant. No. It's just because other people didn't get the link, and then their connections aren't as great. I want to make sure their connections last a little bit of time, so when we bring them on, we don't lose them. That's all.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah,
it's all
'cause
good.
Audrey had messaged me I don't know if you sent her the link. Audrey Johnson.
Who?
Audrey Johnson.
Yeah. I believe I did, but go ahead and send her the link as well, because I did send Craig the link. So,
Yeah, because
People
those
may have
two, I
got
know
scared.
they'll have some juice to add to this conversation.
Yeah, you know what? I actually have a question for you guys because anybody who was at Paisley Park back in the day and got a chance to walk through the building, for example, 2001 celebration, Rainbow Children, anybody who basically got a chance to see Paisley Park before Prince passed and then after, how different is it? I have not, this is really weird, I have not taken a tour yet. So I have not been around the whole building since the way he had it set up. So anybody can tell me? Anybody knows? Anybody
Dorothy
who
Inez.
both ways?
Well, I never attended before Prince passed, but I've been there since like it first opened as a museum and how it is now.
Mhm.
And I feel like since they opened it in the beginning and how it is now, they've been pretty consistent. Some things have been moved around and kind of, cleaned up, but it's been pretty consistent. I'd like to see them, share some more in-depth stories. Maybe as you move into some of the VIP tours, you get to hear some more in-depth stories from people like yourself or, Jeremiah, I don't know. I just like to hear some more because when you visit over and over and over, like many of us do, it gets really repetitive. But in terms of how it looks, I actually enjoy that they rotate out the clothing and different things that we get to see. So that adds some variety to it. But I would like to hear more information as you go up on those tours and give people incentives for wanting to come back and keep visiting the park because you just, how many times can we visit? So I want to start hearing some new stuff.
Yeah.
That'd be smart. I'll say this, because I've been there before, and I was at the 2001 celebration and all of those. The first time back after he passed, I was there the weekend before he passed. First time there after he passed, the first day, felt a little like someone was there. Then one of the last times I was there, not last times, but Celebration 2019, I felt like this tap in the middle of my back, and there was no one around me, and it was in the soundstage area. The first time I had that little shiver thing, it was outside, and I thought, okay, maybe it's because it was a cold day there in April. But in 2019, when I felt that little thing in the middle of my back, no one was around me. No one. And of course, I'm a tall person, so if Prince was tapping me, it'd probably be around right there. I can't say it, so when people say that they feel his energy there, I totally get it because, and that when people will say, oh, he's not there anymore, why should I come to Paisley? I'm like, he's there in a different way now. That's the only way I can describe it. I don't know, Lenka, if you've had a feeling like that, or Dorothy Inez or other people, but there's something there is all I can say. And I'm not trying to get all philosophical or anything, but yeah,
I've had those experiences too. I can't remember. I think it was the last event we had. I had that, and then on my first few visits, I also had that just because of the type of work that I do. I have a sensitivity to energies. And so I definitely feel him. There's times where it feels kind of sterile. And then there's times where it feels like the fullness of who he is there as well. So just kind of fluctuates.
It's so crazy. Lenka, have you had any feelings like that?
My first time back, was I right now am getting more adjusted. There's also like there's something that I wanted to talk about. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. Some people might not like me for that. But first time back was as emotional as it gets because it was when his family had the little private memorial for him. So it was basically just a few people. I remember Maya and Gretchen there, Sheila E. God, I can't remember everyone. It was just, I would say maybe 30 people. And it was a beautiful memorial. And then afterwards, I was basically supposed to DJ, and I did, but it was, I had to hold pretty much tears. This was in August of 2016. So this was shortly after. And I remember we all, we got passed around this pen and a paper, this, like a little note thing. And so all of us wrote a personal note to Prince. And then that was being put in this box. And that's always still at Paisley Park now. So we are sitting there sobbing, writing these notes. And then afterwards, all of a sudden, it's supposed to be a dance party. And just to like switch from this to that. The room was not, this was not a museum yet. It was literally left just the way he left it. And I looked up on the symbol in Love for One Another room, and I looked up on that symbol. That time, I felt him. I'm just gonna say it like that. I felt him as soon as I walked in. As soon as I walked in, it was something just, I started, I don't know if I was sweating or shaking. It was a very feeling that was, I can't even describe, I felt like I was in a bubble, sort of numb. When you like when you get your heart broken, and then for a while you are in this stage of you don't even know what's going on.
No, we can't relate to that, Lenka. Come on.
I don't know, I'm sounding weird, but yeah. So that's sort of like it was a really weird. As time went, and the more of them I played, more adjusted. It's almost easier. I have to say this: it's easier for me to play there now when it looks different. And here's what I wanted to touch upon. There's a lot of people who are saying. I've seen like comments after I posted the selfie. I've seen comments saying that's just not right. Taking pictures of Paisley Park. He was against this. He was against that. This is the thing. Prince is not alive. Unfortunately, very unfortunately, he is not alive. He had certain rules, but if you think about it like this, whenever Prince would go play a concert, it doesn't matter if it was at Paisley Park or anywhere else. You couldn't take pictures. You couldn't record a video. That wasn't a rule just for Paisley Park. That was a rule for himself. He didn't want pictures of himself end up on the internet where he didn't like the way he looked. Honestly, he was very particular about his image. He was also very particular about his music and the way it sounded. And he didn't want it to end up on YouTube in shitty quality, that I have to say it like that, So he didn't want, excuse me, all of this stuff. Doesn't matter if it was Excel Energy Center or if it was, I don't know, it doesn't matter, convention center somewhere, or if it was Paisley Park. Right now, he's unfortunately not there. So nobody's going to take pictures of him. Nobody's going to record him. Nobody's going to do any of that. It is a museum. Right. It is literally like you can do, if you look at, I rather for Paisley Park to be a museum where people who didn't get a chance to go, of course, people who were there with Prince, we were lucky. It's nothing you cannot compare. You cannot compare the energy of Prince walking in a room at 2:00 in the morning and dancing with people on a dance floor for 2 or 3 hours, and there's chips and cranberry juice for everybody to take. And then all of a sudden at 4 or 5 a.m. he decides to get on stage and play. Sometimes he has band members, sometimes he doesn't. And he can jam for 6 or 7 hours. This for 20, sometimes 10 people. This is stuff that will not be experienced anymore. But I rather for Paisley Park to be a museum where there's outfits and cars and music is being played and he is being celebrated than for it to die off and nobody care for that building. I had a conversation with my friend about that the other day, and we were talking about Neverland. Michael Jackson and Neverland. If you look at pictures of Neverland today, it's a sad place. It's a sad. The grass is 2 feet
It's
high.
literally Neverland.
Yeah, Neverland. The roller coaster, it's terrible. So if somebody could turn that into a beautiful museum and fix everything up, I'd be happy. I'd go there. So I am happy about that, and almost the fact that it's different, the fact that it does look different, and you can take pictures, and it's something that it almost makes it easier for me, because I've switched my mind and I look at it as something. It's a museum where Prince used to live part-time. He performed. It was his, that was his purple playground. But right now, it is not that anymore. It is a museum.
And I think that having the pictures also kind of helps with marketing, getting people to want to come and experience and see what's happening over there. So I think it's great to be able to, because at first when they said we could take pictures, I was a little like, oh, but he wouldn't want that. But then I thought about how this helps to share for those people who can't fly all the way to Minneapolis. It gives them an opportunity to see and experience it on some level through us. So I'm with having pictures and video and the sound stage. And I think they've really honored that by not having us film inside, but in the sound stage where we're having fun, I don't see the issue.
Right. Yeah, plus you are not, the bottom line is you are not recording him.
Exactly.
You are not recording him.
There you go.
If you record a DJ, it's a DJ playing his music that was already recorded, that everybody can listen to on Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere. It's not something new that he just created, in front of you. So,
right.
Interesting. Well, Dorothy Inez, I want to thank you so much.
You're welcome
for coming on. Sorry, I know you hit me up last month. I have not been able to get back to you, so I apologize. Please do not take it personally at all.
I forgive you.
Right.
I forgive
By the way,
you.
look at her. She's like all ready to party. She's got her full makeup on. She got ready for this. We know this.
I've been speaking on lives all day today, so this was my last one. So what? I've been doing teaching today, so this is my last one. But I wanted to come on and just honor you, Lenka, for just really bringing us a great evening of fun, something that I think all of our souls needed. Jeremiah, thank you for always continuing the legacy and bringing us information and just keeping hope alive. Okay. So have a good evening, you guys. God bless.
You too. You too. Thank you.
Bye.
All right.
Bye-bye. All
right. Now we're going to bring on another person that is from Chicago, I believe.
All right.
That was at Paisley Park after dark, and then we'll get to it. We may have other people join, but I do want to get to you and the things that you have going on. But right now, let's have Diana from Chicago join us.
Hey, honey. You did such a great
job friends over here.
Saturday.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
You did such a great job on Saturday. I had so much fun. I'm tired of dancing by myself.
I know. Tell me about it.
It was just, you made it like, I always feel like it's a struggle sometimes to go there now that Prince is not there, but you just made it okay. Like it felt right because, we were dancing to his music that you were playing. So I needed that. I needed to refill my cup. I was running on E, and I'm so happy that my friend Christina and I just had, we just thought when you posted that you were going to perform, automatically we just called each other at the same time, and we coordinated and we drove up there, and we had such a great weekend. It was so much fun.
Oh, you guys drove? Okay.
Yes.
Fun.
It was a quick 5.5 hour drive. What?
I didn't even know that you were. It was so good to see you. It was so many, surprises. So many people are like, oh, you are here, and you came from here. People flew from all over for that, and they really respected the social distancing, because I actually asked, so how many tickets did you guys sell? And they said 130. That's very little for the soundstage, because I don't know how many people it holds, maybe 1,000. It's a big room.
Yeah.
So, and it looked pretty good because with the stage and with the cars, and the outfits and everything, and the piano. I'm very happy that the piano is still there from Piano and Microphone. It sort of takes up a chunk of the room, so that even if you have less people, it doesn't necessarily look, how do you like a dead party, empty or whatever,
No, I'm definitely glad the piano's still there because that was the last time I saw him perform live, and it's always just so emotional to be there. And I'm happy to be there, but I'm also sad because he's not there. So I struggle back and forth with just the emotions of being there. But it's my safe place, and I definitely felt safe. Everybody. I mean, I just felt safe the way that they had everything set up, and everybody had masks on, and there was a lot of distance, and it just felt comfortable.
Mm-hmm. And the piano, when I walked by it, you just kind of like pause, right? It's a that like gets me, because that was one of his last. I'm not sure if the Piano and Microphone was his last performance. It was not the last time he was on stage. But as far as performing, was it the last one? I believe so, right?
He did Atlanta, but then the Paisley Park party, he did play a little bit of chopsticks on the piano and then showed off a new guitar he got that night in April. But it was the last performance publicly that we got from Paisley on January 21st. And January 23rd, he did a little bit of DJing with Michael Holtz on the other side of the stage, and then himself behind the thing that's in the Black Sweat video that DJ Rashida would use.
Yes. That little thing. That beautiful DJ booth. I don't know what it's called, but I love it. I love it. It's so pretty.
It was a great time. It was a great time. The vibe was great. I got to take pictures in front of the new statue that's in front of Paisley. That was beautiful. It was just a great time. I'm just, happy that I was able to experience it, and I'm just, glad that I was there with people who we have that strong Prince connection. So I'm glad, that you were able to DJ at the party, and everybody was able to have fun, and and also walk away with some merchandise. I left with some merchandise.
I haven't even walked around the merchandise area yet. Is it a lot of nice stuff there?
Yeah,
I don't even know.
The one thing that I did notice is that the prices are a little. They were reduced a little bit. I feel like they were a little higher, the prices, so I felt like it was more reasonable. So I was happy to purchase a couple things, and I'm always glad to bring home anything from Paisley, and to have I purchased a candle holder and a T-shirt, so I'm really glad that they had the store open for us too.
Yeah, and the symbol outside, I didn't know how I would feel, when I see it in person. But they did it. I mean, I know that Prince wouldn't have it there. He just wouldn't, he just kind of know he wouldn't. But they did it. It's very respectful, and it's beautiful. Even the rocks around it and the rope and everything. It's just beautifully done. So and how it.
Yeah, it's so beautiful, and we took pictures at night, and it's just the way that the purple light reflected off the symbol, and then the flowers. It's just so beautiful, and it's just so nice to see that there.
Yeah.
I like it. I can't wait to see it. I just want them to change the lyrics to Paisley Park and have the 2 U's and the R's there, and not the regular speak. That's all. Statue's great. I'm not trying to bring up anything negatively.
It's big.
That's just Yes.
It's really big.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, they did make some changes. I noticed there was a lot of beautiful chandeliers in the MPG room. There was like maybe 3 or 4 chandeliers. There's I noticed too, there's a video, like a screen, and it's like in the shape of an eye. I actually was just dancing the whole night. Like, I just couldn't sit down. I had to dance the whole entire night, and I did. And then towards the end is when I went around and looked at all of the outfits and the cars, and I had my little moment with him, and so that felt good. And I waited to the end to do that. So it was just an overall great time, and I can't wait for the next party. Hopefully I can make it, but if not, I hope everybody else who goes enjoys, experiencing dancing at Paisley, because it's so much fun.
Yeah, for me,
I had a good time there.
what was hard for me to play all of a sudden, because, like for the last few months, every Friday I've been playing 6-7 hour Prince sets,
I
right?
know.
And
I listen.
switch into 3 hours, and all of a sudden also have people in front of me. I had to go, okay, am I going to go completely in a hits direction, or am I going to go, I didn't want to go like all the way either way, to go too deep or too hits. I was thinking of it as a dance party, but my main thing was I want to squeeze so many songs into 3
We
hours,
needed more time. Yeah.
But
I
some
think
some songs, you know how it like you think like, okay, you want to cut off the song in 2 minutes, but then he starts like a 3-minute guitar solo 5 minutes into the song. You're like, I can't miss that. You gotta let that play. So it was kind of, it was like sort of, but
yeah,
trying to do
I
a
guess
little bit
that's
of
a
everything.
recommendation to extend the hours, 8 to 11, we need more time. There's so much music. We need more time. We need more music, and it's been a while, it's been a while, so that was the only recommendation I have, is that they extend the party time.
I don't know how it is now, because when Prince was around, how he would play until 5 or 6 a.m., 7, sometimes 8. I don't know if they can now, or if if there's on it. There were times when cops would show up on Prince and say, "Hey, our neighbors are calling, you are too loud." So that happened to him over there and at First Avenue, and sort of, places where he would just decide to jam at 6 a.m., 5 a.m.
Right.
We probably could have gone to 5 a.m. if they would have let us.
I could, yeah.
Get that money for sure.
Well,
All right.
Lenka, and thank you so much again for your Fridays. I mean, it's been a struggle. I know for me, the past 8 months, not to dance. That's my therapy. That's my outlet. That's what gives me life. And, you've helped me. And the other DJs who've also DJ Prince music is that's my therapy. That's helps me, deal with the stress of everything that's going on in the world. So your music, your dedication, everything is just, I'm so grateful for you and
Oh.
your commitment to playing Prince and keeping his music alive and keeping us dancing.
Oh, thank you.
I love you, Lenka.
And I'm glad that you guys join, because like if you didn't join and come to the chat room and listen, then I would play for nobody. So thank you. And I'm gonna bring it back. It's probably not this Friday, but I'm gonna see if next Friday or Friday after. It's not gonna be more than a couple of weeks. I can't do it anymore. So I just needed, sometimes you just need downtime.
Yeah, you need
and
to take care of yourself, and I'm glad that you're doing that.
Yeah. So you just need it, and you sort of need to like not have tasks all the time, because then you can't, focus and process and just be with you.
True. Yeah.
Sort of, if that makes sense. Yeah. And plus I'm really, really trying to remodel so I can have you guys in my bedroom. But I think when I start, I might not be remodeled yet. So you still might be in my living room. So yeah.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Funkenberry. I appreciate you. Thank you for this.
I appreciate you, Diana. Thank you. Appreciate you having the time for us.
Bye.
See you soon. All right, we're going to try to bring on one more person that's been waiting, Audrey Johnson. And then because I don't know how much time you have, Lenka, but I want to get into you and the paint party and other stuff going on so people can tune in. But right now, let's bring in Audrey. Hey, Audrey.
Hi.
How are you doing?
How are you?
How are you? This is really fancy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to talk to you back later about this, because this I like this.
Definitely.
Oh, okay.
Fell down.
You fell? Are you okay?
I fell down.
Okay, that was a drop.
Yeah.
She was thinking of Saturday night again and getting funky. How was your experience, Audrey?
Oh man, it was incredible, and I'm glad that I actually made the effort to come and got on the plane.
Okay.
Risking my life to come to Minneapolis to hear Lenka do Prince right. So it was definitely worth it. It was worth it. I mean, I brought in the new year at Paisley. I figured I'd bring in my birthday weekend the same way. Why not? you know? So it was perfect.
Can I ask, how is it? I have not been on a plane since COVID started. How and
Well, it
airports?
was,
How do you get through the
I was
security? You have to
nervous.
take your mask off, and because they
No,
have to check
no.
your ID, right? Like, how do they know it's you?
You just pull it down a little so they can make sure that your ID matches, who you are. But you
Okay.
put it back up, but you keep it on the entire time. You're in the airport while you're on the flight, everything. And most people were following the rules.
Okay.
So
And do they sell out? Do they sell, like seats? Like, do people sit directly next to one another, or
no,
do they?
well, Southwest, they're definitely not selling the middle seat. So the
Okay.
plane is full
Great. I
without
don't
the
have to be
middle
stuck in it
seat.
anymore. That's
Yeah.
good. I always
Yeah.
like show up late,
Yeah, so that's good, at least they're doing it and they're continuing to do it, I think for another few months. So
Okay. That's good.
yeah, that was good. But, I had to get there. And it was great kind of being with everybody and having that sense of community, that we have, and you don't really realize how much you miss each other, even though you're kind of keeping in touch online and through Facebook and things like that. But to physically be in the same space with our community means a whole lot. So I was glad that they decided to do this party again, and you were the perfect person to kick it off for this year.
Oh.
Awesome. Now, Audrey, I'm curious because I don't know about Lenka, but did they check your temperature before you guys were admitted in?
No, I was a little surprised that they didn't. I was hoping they were.
Huh.
I was
Okay.
hoping they were going to do that because they alluded to it in some of the communication that they gave us about it, that might happen, but they didn't do that.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
You're just hoping in the future they will, just
Yeah.
so people can
I
feel
think they
safe, even though
should.
you guys were wearing masks.
Right, but I think it would be a good idea. And then I did do the tour the next day, and they didn't check any temperature for the tour.
Wow.
They didn't on me
Okay.
either.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, without you,
Right.
Lenka, there's no party, but they don't
Right.
you were sick, but we can understand that. Yeah.
But I don't know. I think if people were showing symptoms of anything, I would hope they would not show up.
Come
If
on.
you're feeling
We-
What
sick,
if
You can't.
what if they flew though, like Audrey, and they don't
Yeah.
want to miss it? That could be problematic. They should be checking. As much as I'm glad that they're having these events, but we have to do everything we can do to be safe and make other people feel safe. So if temperature is a thing, that'd be great. Go ahead.
Oh, me or Audrey?
Anyone. Like, I just want everyone to feel safe.
I don't think that you can, just think that people are going to do the right thing, because mostly they're not going to do the right thing for the right reason.
Yeah.
So, I think it would behoove them to at least do it. And even if they did it randomly, but to at least attempt it. I think it's a good idea.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't even thought of that. The only place that my temperature got checked is when I went to the doctor, with my ongoing joints, trying to figure out what the hell is going on with me. So, but they do. And then I went for a recheck, and they didn't check my temperature, not even at the clinic, which was weird. They just asked, "Do you have fever?" I'm like, "No." Okay, go.
I mean, Alan did come outside, and we were standing in line waiting to get in, and he was like, "Okay, you have to be 6 feet apart. You have to be 6 feet apart while you're standing out here in line." Nobody was doing it.
Huh. It seemed like the videos I saw or the photos I saw, at least inside, people were socially distancing unless they were with someone.
Had enough space to do that, but while we were standing in line waiting to get in, nobody was 6 feet apart.
Okay.
Just like Target checkout.
Can we even get into the Target checkout? Like, the people just don't understand, because it says, at least here in LA, it says don't put your stuff on the belt until they tell you to. And then there'll be people putting their stuff on the belt before I even checked out. And it's like, you want to just like not slap them and go, can you not read?
Right.
Can you not do these things? Like I'm doing it, but everyone needs to do it, or else we're never going to get out of this thing.
We're never going to get out of it. Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, because I've had people that had it, and we've had an outbreak where I live, and it's problematic. But I wish, I'm thankful that people have it that don't know anyone who's had it, but unfortunately, I've had, and it's people around me, and someone's skin color changed, and that was kind of weird. We'll get into that another time. I'm just glad you guys did feel safe there, right?
Yeah,
that's the number one important thing.
I did.
Yeah.
I mean,
How is
they were monitoring people, I think there was like one person that didn't have their mask on the entire time, and security did come to that person to remind them to keep it on. And they had traffic flowing, one way in and one way out. So that was good. So they did a lot, I think. So I felt safe.
That's good.
That's good. Yeah. How is it in Los Angeles right now? As far as I'm supposed to. I told you, I have a ticket to a concert next month, and I am afraid to buy a plane ticket because I don't know if it's going to happen.
That concert ain't. I mean, they basically
at the end of October, but
yeah, for Halloween here, they canceled trick or treating. You are not allowed to knock on neighbors' doors. You're not allowed to have parties. So I don't think it's going to be happening. More stuff is opening, but very slowly. And we had during Labor Day weekend, we had the beaches were crowded. I mean, we were dealing with 121 heat. It was never this hot in LA before.
That's crazy. Can I tell you something? This morning, I turned on my heat because it was 42 outside.
Yeah, I saw.
I don't know what the heck.
Crazy.
Yeah. But you know what? Next week it will be 79. Like we're going from winter to summer on 4 or 5 days back and forth. It's goofy. It's just goofy here. So I don't even know what it is now. Probably around 50.
The weather was absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
But you guys are going through some heat wave right now? That's crazy. 120?
It went from 121 to like, it was supposed to be 104, but it actually didn't get past 100 yesterday. And it was supposed to be 99 today, but it's 95. But there's a lot of fires around LA, and the Bay Area looks like Mars right now.
Oh, Jesus.
Everything is just red everywhere. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Wow.
So, but yes.
World is going crazy in 20.
All right, Audrey. Well, I appreciate you joining us for this.
I thank you, Lenka. Thank you, Funkaberry. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Following. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good seeing you.
Could we look at some comments? Because I'm like, I feel bad. I'm sort of like ignoring the comments here. Let's see. We must think of the greater good.
Yeah, too many elderly are dying and other stuff. Yeah, it's crazy right now. Welcome to 2020.
Welcome to 2020. Jesus, this year can just go. It can just go.
I mean, it's something else, but
yeah.
All right.
Comments.
Because because I don't know how much time you have, but I want to delve into some stuff so people know, like your relationship with Prince. Like, how did you? Because I know the story, but I want other people to know it. How did you meet Prince, and how did you end up DJing for him?
You want my Prince story? Okay.
Yes.
Posted it online some months ago. Yeah, so it was.
But for people who haven't seen it or whatnot, or hear you talk about it.
Yeah. Okay. So, how did it start? I lived in New York. Then I lived for a while in Dallas, Texas. And then I got into Prince. This is the funny thing. Like, I liked Prince, but I really didn't get heavy into Prince until 1998 for some reason. I don't know why. It was 1998, and at that time that was the little 9 or 10 months or something like that. Then I was living in Dallas. I got heavy into Prince, and this was before I came out gay. I was married, and then my husband. I'm telling you like my whole life private story.
Please.
We were living in Dallas because he was helping his friend. He was done helping his friend, And this is when we moved from New York, and he basically quit his job in New York. So we go, okay, where are we going to go now? We don't want to be in Texas anymore. And that's when I got heavy into Prince, and I started going online, and I found out that he's doing these parties at Paisley Park on a Friday night, and he's charging people $7, sometimes nothing, to get in, to get in at 1 o'clock in the morning on a Friday, and he just plays for them for 5 or 6, 7 hours. And I'm thinking, this is a dream. This is what? I have to go there. I have to see this for. So we pretty much, we had no, as far as like a career, we had nothing going on, and we were really young. So we're like, okay, let's move to Minneapolis. And he goes, why do you want to move to Minneapolis? And I'm like, well, Prince is in Minneapolis. We have to go to Minneapolis, because they go like, you want to move to Minneapolis for Prince? You are crazy. I'm like, no, really, trust me. And also, there was another. This was a period of time when I briefly stopped DJing, and I used to, back in the day, I played guitar, but I stopped, and I started practicing again. And I am probably 5% of the level that would take to play guitar for Prince. But I was like, okay, we're going to move to Minneapolis, and I'm going to be his next guitarist. That was my whole thing. I was like, I'm going to play guitar for Prince. And he goes like, okay, yeah, fine. He just laughed. So we moved to Minneapolis with our gym bags and with my guitar. I never played guitar for Prince. And also, when I was online, I met, who knows Miho? Or Miho, if you are here, say hi. I met Miho online. She was the one who was going to the parties and always writing about them afterwards. And I was like, these, all of these reviews, they are always from this one person. So I decided I'm going to contact this person. I said, hey, I'm getting ready to move to Minneapolis, and I really want to go to Paisley Park, and I always see you online. So I just thought I'd check in and see what's going on. And we started chatting online. Then we exchanged emails. And when I got ready to move, it was right before the Mill City Music Festival. That was my first time seeing Prince live. I've never even seen Prince before. So August of 1999, Mill City Music Festival. And Miho, she told me at that time, she goes, hey, I'm going to be at the Mill City Music Festival, somewhere standing in front of the stage. Why don't we just meet in person? And I was like, sure, okay. And this is, we don't have cell phones. We don't know what we look like. So she just described, she goes, I'm a Japanese girl, kind of tall, come find me. And I'm like, okay, among 20,000 people or something like that. Okay, awesome. This is gonna be, and you know how like people say, okay, you stereotype. So I'm like, Miho, you want me to walk up to every Asian person and ask them if they are Miho, and for them not to attack me. She goes, just do it. So it's like, okay, fine. So I walked up. Third person, I got lucky. Third person that I walked up to, hey, are you Miho by a chance? I am Miho. I'm like, you are number 3. Okay, this was perfect. So we met instantly. It was right there. It was like, okay, we're gonna be friends. We will be friends. So that was my first time, and I saw Prince perform downtown Minneapolis at Mill City Music Festival, and I was just, oh my God, this is not like TV. What is this? What's going on here? I was like, my life changed at that moment, because it was a whole nother level from listening to the records. Then I found out 5 days, I think it was 5 days after that, he had a party at Paisley Park. I was like, okay, this is going to be my first time. I have to go. So I go to Paisley Park. I'm standing in this line for like an hour and a half. He's supposed to open the doors at 1 o'clock in the morning, and he opens them at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I don't even care. When he did that in February in -20, that was not fun. but in the summertime, it was bearable. So I walk in, and I'm just soaking everything in. I was just like, oh my God, I'm standing on the floor that Prince walks on. And then I go to the next room, and I'm standing in a room that he plays in, and everything was just so new, and I was just this excited bunny. So next thing I know, it's a dance party. Brother Jules was playing, and we are dancing, and then security starts asking people to come to the lobby, that apparently Prince will come out, and he will pick a few people. He will not be playing on stage at Love for One Another room, but that night he will play in Studio C. And I'm like, I don't know what Studio C is, but I'm just going to stand in a lobby. So I go, and I stood in a lobby, and next thing I know, security taps my shoulder. Prince comes out, and he's standing about 10 feet away from me. And I'm like, he's short. That was my first thought, because I saw him on stage at Mill City, but I never saw him in front of me. I was like, he's tiny. But I didn't say that loud. And so I'm standing there, and I'm like, this is Prince in front of me. My second time seeing him, period. And he's 10 feet away from me. What's happening here, Next thing I know, calls the security over, and he just starts whispering stuff to him. Then he walks away, and security starts walking towards a few people and just say, okay, you come with me, you come with me, you come with me. And he says that to about maybe 10 or 15 people, and I got lucky to be one of them. So I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna see Prince in Studio C with about 10 other people. So he walks us over there. We walk in a room. Prince and the band are there. They are already playing. The room is the size of a bigger living room, maybe. Instruments are all around, and the dance floor is right in the middle. So you don't have any space. You are standing, like I was standing here. I don't know if you guys can see me. And Prince is probably a foot away from me, just playing a keyboard. All of these musicians are just right around you. And I'm in heaven. I didn't even know what was going on. I think that term purple high, it was there because I was in space somewhere. I just couldn't even figure out what was going on with me. Prince just said, hello, welcome, as we were coming in. And he played from, I'd say, 4 a.m. until 10 o'clock in the morning that day. And they remember Ananda Lewis from MTV. She was there that night. So she was just kind of like hanging in a corner. And it was his band that he had this was right before John Blackwell came into the picture. Rest in peace. This was, so it was Prince, Morris, Kirk Randa. I don't think Marva was there that day. It was kind of like Mike Scott was there. And it was not a full band. It was, about 4 or 5 people. And so they were jamming, and Prince was doing stuff like I couldn't even. So he had bass strapped on him, but it was hanging on his back. And he would play keyboards. Then he would stop playing the keyboards. He would pick up drumsticks and started playing keyboards with drumsticks. Didn't miss a note. Just perfect. I'm like, how are you playing keyboard with drumsticks? Then he throws the drumsticks down and he flips the bass and starts playing bass, and all of this right in front of my eyes, and I'm just losing my mind. I have no idea what's going on at this point. It was all over at 10 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't even know what to do with myself for the next week. I was trying to process the genius and what is happening here, and why isn't everybody from the world moving to Minneapolis and coming to see this? That was on my mind. It's like, I'm not gonna miss another one. This is crazy. So then I started going to Paisley Park. So this is the rest of 1999. And I was just going to the parties and just dancing and just enjoying myself. Sometimes he would play, sometimes he wouldn't play. Then there was one party in February of 2000, yes. And I was normal, just dancing, doing my own thing. And next thing I know, who knows Charles, you guys? Charles, remember Charles, security? Charles walks up to me. And this was when Prince was the artist. He was going by the artist of, artist from known as Prince. So Charles walks up to me and goes, the artist wants to know if he can dance with you later. And I'm like, what? Wants to know what? He can dance with. That's what I didn't write that part in a Facebook post. And I'm like, dance with me? I guess. I'm like, the party's going on. He can dance with me now. Okay, whatever. Fine. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, he can dance with me, I think. Yeah, this is me. I'm still married at that time. So I'm like, okay, all right. Charles, can I have your phone number? And I'm like, phone number? Why do you want my phone number? And he goes, the artist wants your phone number. And I'm like, you are lying. You want my phone number? You're just using him. It's like, no, I couldn't do that. I promise. Like, I would get fired. I was like, okay, I'll give you my number. But if you call me, you're in trouble. So I gave him my number. Party ended. Prince didn't come out. I didn't have a ride. I called my friend, and I asked my friend if she could pick me up. That white phone that was hanging on a wall at Paisley Park, remember, like 20 years ago? So, yeah. So I just took that phone, I dialed her number, and I called her. And she's in South Minneapolis, so she's like, okay, I'll be there in about half hour because, 35 minutes. I said, okay, fine. So I am sitting in a lobby. The merchandise table was in front of me. It was still in a lobby at that time with Raven to Joy Fantastic merchandise at that time. And I'm just sitting in a lobby and nobody's there. It's all quiet. I hear somebody walking down the hallway and I'm thinking, oh, it's security who's going to tell me to get out right now. This is February. I'm like, oh, God, I'm going to be cold. They're going to probably want to lock up the building. So I'm just kind of sitting. I have my head sort of like looking at the floor. And then I see like these turquoise pants and turquoise boots standing in front of me, and I'm like, oh shit. Like I sort of knew. And he goes, hi. And I just lift my head and I'm just like all scared. Prince is standing in front of me. I'm like, hi. I didn't know what to do. I'm like, I'm not going to jump on him and scream or anything. So I just, I just said hi. And he goes like, how are you? And I'm like, I'm fine. And at that time, do you remember when he would put a few braids, like big braids in his hair? I had long hair and I sometimes did that completely unrelated. I did that. That was like my rave days from, not rave, like rave, meaning Eastern European girl raving.
Rave days. Rave raves.
And so he goes, are you stealing my hairdo? I'm like, no. And he goes, you're copying Gwen Stefani then, because she was doing that at that time too. I'm like, nope. So he goes, he just kind of like leans over this, he sits on this one table, but not sits on it. He just kind of like, like sort of like leans on it. And he goes, did you have fun tonight? I'm like, yeah, I had a great time. He goes, did you get anything from this merchandise table? And I'm like, yeah, I got that little tank top over there. And then I don't know if you guys remember, part of his Rave Unto the Joy Fantastic merchandise was it was thong underwear with rave written on it. If anybody remembers that. And so he like slowly walks over and he puts his finger right on the underwear and he goes, did you get these? I'm like, no, I didn't get that. And I'm thinking in my head, why is Prince, I just met him, why is he asking me about underwear? This is strange. Like if it was any other guy, I would flip him off by now, but I'm like going with this, it's really weird. So then he goes back to the table and he goes like, so where do you live? And at that time I lived in Edina. I was actually right around the corner from Flight Time Studio. It was really weird because Flight Time and then it was like an apartment building. So I'm like neighbors with Jimmy Jam. This is really weird. So I'm like, I live in Edina. I'm like, I'm around the corner from Flight Time. Oh, he goes, oh, I know exactly where that is. You are about 28 blocks down from where I bought my first house. My first house was on 50th and France, and I was on 70th in France at that time. And I'm like, oh, cool. Then he started talking about his houses and real estate. And he asked me if I cook. And I said, I do. And he asked me what I cook. And I was like, I don't know what to say. I got blank. And he goes like, you don't cook. And he told me he likes spaghetti. And it was like really weird. He just was going off on these weird differences. I don't remember everything. But then he stood up and he walks over and I stood up and he goes, would you like to go clubbing sometime? So would you like to go, somewhere? And I'm like thinking, is he asking me to go clubbing? Is he asking me to go out? I don't know. And I am married, but I'll say yes, I guess. I don't. It's like so weird. Like
it's Prince.
It's Prince, right? And I'm thinking, it's like, I'm not going to do anything with him. I'm just going to go clubbing. So I said, yeah, I would. And he goes, okay, would you like to play basketball with me right now? I'm like, no, no. I wouldn't. My outfit, my hair, it wouldn't work. I really didn't want to lose. That was the thing because I knew that he was good at basketball. I'm like, no, he's gonna kick my ass. That's not gonna happen. But I'm not gonna say that. I'm just gonna say no, I don't lose. So no. My outfit, my shoes and my hair. I don't know. I wouldn't be any good right now. And he just kind of like laughed and he goes like, okay, well, Charles has your number, so I'm gonna give you a call and we'll go someplace. I said, okay, sure. And he just reaches his hand and he shakes my hand and he goes like, have a good night. It was very nice to meet you. Like, okay, have a good night. At that time, he left. Car pulls up and it's my friend Cheryl. And I just walk over to the car. I sit down. I look like a robot. And she's like, what's going on? What's wrong with you? And I'm like, I just met Prince. And he asked me out. And we talked about underwear. And he wanted to play basketball with me. I have no idea what's going on right now. We're sitting in a car going from Chanhassen to Edina, and I'm just sitting, and she's like, no way. Are you crazy? I'm like, way. Like, it really happened just now. That's why I'm sitting here like that. So, yeah, so it was very weird. It was Friday night. I woke up on Saturday afternoon. I think like maybe, I don't know, 4 p.m. or something. I slept for about, because this is morning we are talking and I slept like 5 hours. 5 p.m. my phone, I didn't have a cell phone. My house phone rings and it says unknown on it. And I was like, oh, okay, bill collector or something. I don't know. So I enter the phone and it says, hi, this is Charles. I'm calling from Paisley Park. Is Lenka there? And I was like, oh, hi, Charles. Did you expect, yeah, it's me. And So he goes, the artist wants to know if he can give you a call in a few minutes. I'm like, yeah, he can call me. Totally, he can call me. 5 minutes later, unknown. And I'm like, hello. Oh, hi. This is Charles from Paisley Park. I was wondering if it's still you and if the artist can call you in about 5. Still me. He can call me. 5 minutes later again. And no joke, this happened, I would say, for a half hour, maybe 7 times. And then I kind of get used to it. So I'm thinking it's Charles. I answer the phone, I'm like, hello. And on the other end goes, hi. And I'm like, oh shit, that doesn't sound like Charles. You know, that's Prince. I'm like, hi. And he goes, do you know who this is? I'm like, yep, I have a pretty good idea. and he goes, are you nervous? And I'm like, a little bit, yeah. He goes, why are you nervous? I'm like, I don't really have rock stars calling my number on daily, every day, just like that on Saturday afternoon. And he goes, and he calmed me down. This is how he calmed me down. So he goes, don't be nervous. It's not a big deal. It's a short deal. And I busted out laughing. And at that point, we were just, So then he goes, so who lives there? And me being my, Eastern European, naive, honest self, I'm like, me and my husband. I just told him. And he goes, oh. And that changed the whole situation. So I think he was going to ask me out. Didn't ask me out. So he goes, oh, okay. So yeah. Well, hey, you got a cool look. And I'm like, I do. Okay, well, thank you. And he goes, I would like to take some pictures of you sometime. Like, with some artwork for things. I'm like, oh, okay, we can totally do that. We can totally do that. Like, okay. And then we just had a general conversation about whatever he came up with, and I just sort of, played along with it. We never went out, which obviously I told him I was married. But then I got a call on Tuesday night. I think it was at midnight. I got a phone call, and then my husband, he was working overnight. So Charles calls and he goes, hey, the artist wants to know if you could come to Paisley Park. I'm like, oh, now? And he goes like, yeah. I was like, okay, why not? Yeah, I'll come to Paisley Park. So I came to Paisley Park on Tuesday night. I asked my friend for a ride, and I called my husband. Then I was being nice. I'm like, hey, I'm going to go to Paisley Park. I'm like, oh, yeah. So I went to Paisley Park, and didn't know that was actually an audition for John Blackwell. So John was there, and Prince had about 15, maybe 20 people there. I didn't know any of these people. We just all sort of met over there. So it was an audition for John Blackwell, and it was also he showed us Hot With You video with Eve. That Eve wasn't in the video, but he was like, okay, so what do you guys think? I had this idea, like, why is not Eve in a video? Why isn't Eve in a video? Everybody said, but it's like, okay, it's cool. It's a cute video. Yes, we like it. So he's like, okay, I'm going to play it on Friday. I'm going to show it to you on Friday. I'm like, okay, fine. And then John did the audition, and he just, oh my God, he floored us. Even Prince, like when he got so excited, he just stands on the side of the stage and he just starts like waving his towel at him. And he just starts like bouncing around and doesn't even know what to do with himself. That's how excited he is, because it was just, I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen a drummer like that. That was just, I think I cried for a little bit. I'm not even sure. So it was on the spot. He got the job. And that was just kind of like a hangout party. Oh, and then, no, that wasn't at that party. That was the next one. Yeah, next week, I think on a Wednesday, there was another party, and he had a bunch of people there again. His, whoever he called, I guess. And he goes like, okay, we're gonna do things on stage right now. Everybody, just one at a time, walk up on stage and do something. And I'm like, oh God, what am I gonna do? This is before he knew that I DJ. DJ equipment wasn't set up, and I'm like, I'm not gonna go on. I don't know how to do any of this stuff. And back in the day, 1993, 1994, I wanted to be a rapper, so I used to rap. Right? It was like pretty bad, and it had like a strong accent, but I did it. I was so sad I'm gonna be a rapper. So I was like, you know what? I don't know how to sing. I'm just gonna rap. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna rap. So I started rapping. I started rapping. I did like some old rap from Left Eye or something like. I don't even know what I did. It was something that I did, and I was rapping pretty fast. And as I'm on a microphone, Prince walks up, And I didn't even know Femi. He was recording Femi, his engineer at that time. He was recording the whole thing. Prince goes and he goes like, I like it. I like it. I was like, no, you don't. What is it? You know. So he grabs this guitar and he goes on another mic and he kind of like stops me and he goes like, can I solo? Oh, sorry, I gotta have the mic here. He goes like, can I solo? And I go, yeah. And he goes, can I solo? I go, yeah. And he goes like, on the one. And then he just drops this crazy solo that's 100,000 times better than my rap, right? And I'm just like standing there with my jaw dropped. At the end, he goes, that was amazing. I recorded that. And I'm like, you recorded that? Can I have a copy of that? I don't care how bad my rap is. I just want a copy of that because like now I'm on like the same song with you, even though it's, you know, whatever this was. And he goes like, no, I'm not gonna. I'm like, no, seriously, I'm just gonna send it to my mom. I'm not gonna give it to. And he was like, no, I can't. I'm not gonna give it to anyone. I was like, okay, I understand. I was like, can you just cut me and then like maybe a beginning of yours? You know, it just wouldn't work. So that was one little. Then there were plenty. These parties kept coming. Those were these little bitty parties. This is all before I started DJing. He started referring to me as his sister. He was very respectful of the fact that I was married and was like, yes, I'm attracted to you, but you know what? You are married. I look at you as my sister. He did want to do Bible study, which I refused. I didn't want to do it. I was like, just respect it. You know, it's some people. He converted to Jehovah's Witness. Some people are, some people aren't, and it's okay. And he was respectful of that. And then, so yeah, some parties were just like that. He would jam. Some we would just hang out and do nothing. Play tic-tac-toe, when he would always win because he would tell me to start, but I can't start in the middle. And then his first move would be in the middle. And I was like, you know what? You just told me you did that, and now you're gonna win again. You know, so the things like that. And then he, at one party, he asked me. This was one of those little get-togethers. The DJ booth was up there. There was no DJ, and there was a crate with a few records in it that some of them I knew, some of them I didn't know, and there were no headphones. And I don't even know if the turntables had needles on them. I'm not sure. It was just like a halfway broken down DJ booth. And in the middle of this, see, there's so much. I'm trying to remember all of that.
It's
He
okay.
wanted me to be a dancer. He wanted me to be a dancer, you know, like one of the solo dancers, like Maite or Geneva. And I went up on the stage a few times and I tried to do something because he wanted me to, but I told him, look, I am not a dancer. And he was like, I see you dancing on the dance floor. I like the way you dance. And I was like, no, you know, when I was a teenager, I used to be in a group and we did like Janet Jackson or Madonna, like group type like dances. That's fine. I can do that, but I am not your solo, I'm going to take over the stage type dancer. I'm just not. And then I go, but you know what? I DJ. I said that. And he goes, oh, you do? Okay, come with me. So he takes me upstairs and he goes like, do your thing. And I'm like, no. Hold on. I need my records. I need my headphones. And I cannot do it I don't even know what's going on here. And he goes like, ha, you just talk. You don't DJ. And I'm thinking, oh God, now he doesn't believe me. And this is spring of 2000, I think. Then first celebration comes, June of 2020. He goes like, be my guest. We're going to do a concert at our Northrop Auditorium, and we're just going to do 7 days. We're going to have Alicia Keys. We're going to have Nora Jones. It's going to be a lot of fun. Just be my guest. You don't need a ticket, anything. Just come hang out. He said, just look nice every night. I'm like, of course. So yeah. In the daytime, there was stuff going on outside of Paisley Park, and there was a stage. And do you guys know anybody know DJ Sky? He's actually based in Los Angeles. Long hair,
Yes.
plays violin, and also DJs. And he was outside DJing every day. And I'm thinking, I want to DJ. So I randomly, out of nowhere, just walked up to DJ Sky and I go, hey, my name is Lenka, and you are here every day. This was like the third day into it. Do you mind if I bring some records and just play some time for a little bit? If you want to take a break or something, you don't have to pay me anything. And he goes, yeah, of course. You seem like a really nice person. Just come on. I said, okay. So the next day I brought my records and I started DJing. And the day after I started DJing. And the day after I started DJing, not knowing that Prince probably has cameras and everything and he probably watched it.
Probably.
So I didn't know that. All I know is that I got a call. No, then it was nothing. And then Rainbow Children celebration happened next year with Kevin Smith. if I'm saying it right. That's when Kevin Smith was. There was supposed to be a documentary, but the documentary never came out, or I don't know. It never got finished. I don't know what happened with
In
that.
the vault. In the vault, and then people will see a little bit of it possibly in the next couple of years. That's all I'm going to say. But go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I don't even know. I just know that he did like his show, and he was like, he jokes about it with the Chaka Mad and all of that. It was funny. I was like, I cracked up with the whole when he was talking about the Prince wants a giraffe in his backyard in February in Minnesota, or something of elephant. I'm not sure. Anyway, off the subject.
Go right ahead.
But then it was Xenophobia Celebration 2002, and that's when I got a call asking if I want to DJ. And I'm like, what? He knows I DJ? I'm like, yes, I want to DJ. And then that was my first official time, and that's when it started. And then it was, parties on and off. And then he would go, and then he would have, I don't know if Brother Jules was in a picture at that time, but I don't know Dustin. Dustin was, I think, his only DJ at that time.
At that time, yeah.
Yeah, because Brother Jules wasn't in a picture yet, and it was nobody else. And then it started with Dustin. Then I was brought into the picture, and then Prince was living in Los Angeles for a while, and was DJ Rashida, and she was for a while, only Rashida, I think, right?
Okay.
Then he came back here, and then Michael was brought in. Then Tam the Funkstress, who, rest in peace, not around also. Jesus, this is crazy. I'm not sure who else. I'm probably missing people, and if I am, I'm sorry. But it kind of, then it became when he would go and he would just kind of like call whoever at the time, and he would have multiple people on his call list. But yeah, so that's kind of like, that's how it was. And when he was in LA, there was nothing going on in Paisley Park, because he would did he rent a house from basketball player and paint it or something? Was that I don't remember all of the stories, but
yeah, the second 3121 house. And by the way, today is John Blackwell's birthday.
Is it?
So talking about him a lot is awesome. Plus, Miho is now in here. Her ears are ringing.
I just hit that on my tooth. Miho, if you are, say something in the chat room. But wait, I gotta scroll through the comments because they keep stopping on me. I'm on 9 p.m. comments. Hold on.
And then she brought up about being Madonna's makeup artist or Madonna's dancer makeup artist. Probably talking about you.
Wait, start over? Madonna's?
I think she was trying to refer to you as like calling you like Madonna's makeup artist or whatnot. Just like she would do your makeup before you go out dancing. Possibly. Sure.
I don't remember this. Hi, there she is. Oh my God. Hi, Miho. Miho, talk to me. See, if we had you tested, you would go. Can Miho get on the screen with us?
Yes, I will send her a private link and then see if she's camera ready or wants to join us. But I'm going to set it up through her Facebook Messenger.
Yes, that would be so awesome.
If she wants to join. So.
Miho is one of my best friends in the entire world. Miho, I love you. I love you, love you, love you. This is a story of Miho. When 2003, at the end of 2003, when my mom passed, Miho, literally, this is what she did on 2-day basis. I was already, I was going back to Czech Republic. Miho just calls me and she said, "I bought a plane ticket. I'm flying with you. I'm gonna go with you just so you're not alone." Just like that. And this is the kind of a person that she is, and she just did. So, yeah. Oh,
she's not ready.
She's not ready. Oh, smoke a cigarette. I'm not ready yet. I said it with my painted purple thing that if people should smoke a cigarette, I'm not ready yet. God, they would all die of lung cancer within 2 months. They'd be chain smokers.
Right.
Waiting for my 2.5 hours being late.
And the thing about the Madonna makeup thing, it wasn't that. It was Madonna's after party, and they were dancing with her makeup people, which I believe was in 2015 when Madonna was on tour. So that's what they were talking about. So.
Oh, okay.
But we'll get Miho on again when we have you on again. But I really enjoy that story. And like people are like, are you going to ask her a question? I'm like, I'm letting you go because it's a great story, you know?
Now
And
people know everything about my personal life.
not everything,
I'm not married anymore.
but
I'm gay.
now, so not married anymore, posting photos, kind of like what's in the background.
What's in?
You
Wait,
posted
what
an interesting photo. You posted an interesting photo this week of yourself.
Prince. Oh, okay. I'm touching him. I'm not gonna do this because when I did this on Facebook. By the way, you know what? I'm gonna do it. It is again popping up, and poof. When I did that on Facebook, they almost blocked my account. Yeah, like they said, we're gonna. This is your warning. We're gonna close your account for 30 days because you're like touching whatever. It's a poster. Just calm down.
Right. Now, someone, and you brought it up earlier, and someone's asking about Paint TV. Explain that. Like, what do you do for your show? Just so when I know you're not going to do it this week, but you say you're going to bring it back. Can you explain to people who may not know about it or want to know about it, about your painting parties?
Oh, you know, the only reason paint. Okay, this is really weird. So I am I really didn't want to say that because I'm like, you know, I don't want to be the person who talks and doesn't do stuff. So I am finally starting to get out of procrastinating and working on some original music. And I'm thinking, you know what? See, nowadays people they just put out music on their own. You just kind of like, because of you have internet and you have sources that you didn't have before, you can just have like your little independent label or whatever that you just put out music on, right? So I decided to call it Paint. I don't even know if it's going to be a label because I'm not really thinking of any like a label, an artist or anything like that. Just a name under my little company or whatever where I'm going to put out music. So I decided to call it Paint because whenever I sit in front of a computer and work on a mashup or anything like that, it feels, and I mostly work in Ableton. It's the tracks are colorful, and when I am done with it, it almost looks like some type of abstract painted picture. You know, if that makes sense. I know it's really weird now, so now I'm going off. So I'm thinking, hey, you know what? Paint. That would be a cool name. Then I looked it up if it exists, if anybody has it, and it doesn't. So I was like, yes, it's going to be mine. And then when I started doing, when I decided I'm going to live stream, first it was, oh my God, how do I even go about this? Because I didn't know there's more to it than just holding a phone in front of your face. You actually have to get the audio right, and you have to get it, you know, through directly into the computer and not just go through the computer microphone. So it took me a week just to even put this together and do all of the research and figure out how to work with I use open broadcasting software, OBS. I'm not sure what you are using. Same thing, or no, you don't? Okay, we're gonna talk. But anyway, so I did that, and then I was like, okay, I gotta have a name for my party. And then I just started like thinking about it. I'm like, well, I don't want to use the word Prince in it. I don't want to get in trouble, this and that. So I started thinking of the name Paint for, you know, my music. And I'm like, oh, and purple is a color. I'm just going to call it Painted Purple. And then I went online on Google Images and I just typed in painting of Prince or something like, I'm not sure what I typed in, right? I think it was like, yeah, Prince painting is what I typed in. And one of the pictures that came up was the one that I'm using as my flyer. And I'm like, I need to know what this. I clicked on it. You know how when you go and you can click visit. So I click visit and it says it's by so-and-so. And I'm like, oh, I want to know who this person is. So then I go on Instagram and I go on Facebook and I see I'm a big stalker. I'm not. But I looked up this person and I'm like, oh, okay, now it's a lady in Australia and she is an artist and she paints Prince and she paints other things as well. So I contacted her and I said, hey, I'm going to do this live stream and I really love your picture. Do I pay you? What do I do? I would like to use your picture. She's like, no. Just, you know, make sure that you credit me. So I credited her from beginning. I don't do it every time, but I did the first at least a few times, so that people know who she is. And that's how the name came out, and that's how the picture. It was basically just me typing in on Google Images Prince painting, and then Painted Purple was the name. And it's just really it's super simple. It's just me going online and live streaming and DJing Prince. It started out as me just DJing Prince music for five or 6 hours. Yes, Heidi. How do you pronounce it? Oh, you can. I don't. Okay, you just
Blue.
Blue. Is it blue or
Yeah,
blau?
Blue.
Okay. See, I don't know. I never know how to
Her
pronounce.
artwork is amazing, and in all honesty, before he passed away, when he was going to make it a museum, he was going to use her artwork and stuff for a Purple Rain room. It was going to be her artwork and other things they were working on. And she's got an amazing book, an amazing prints that she sells, and she's an amazing artist in her own right, for sure.
She is. Oh, sorry. Yeah. No, don't be her work. I looked at it. I was like, oh my God, she is so. I want everything. You know. So yes, I just started doing these parties, and at first, the first one, I just sort of like, introduced like, oh, hi guys, this is, can you hear me? I was just so shy and everything. And as it kept going, I started talking more on the microphone, and then it became sort of like, now it's still very much of a DJ mixed show, but there's, I drink sometimes a bottle of wine in those 7 hours. And as I keep going and as I keep sipping, I get more chatty. And then it becomes almost like a Prince DJ set / variety show. Then I brought my stuffed animals into it, and I'm thinking, oh, I am live streaming on Twitch, and it's a gaming platform, and so I have, and I'm a gamer. I'm the shittiest gamer you will ever meet. I have all these systems. I have almost every handheld system that exists. No joke, from Game Boy to Game Boy Color to Nintendo DS and 3DS and 2DS and Switch Lite and everything. And then now I just got PlayStation and Vita and all of that, right? I have all of these. I have more systems than games probably. And I start every game. I never finish it. And I walk around in circles and I bump into walls and I suck. It's a comedy to watch me, but I love it. I absolutely love it. And so I was like, okay, so then I go to like, GameStop and all these stores, and I buy stuffed animals like Pikachu and Yoshi. So I decided I'm going to bring them on, and now they are a part of the show. They are a big part of the show, and I bring them on like Starfish and Coffee, and we do the dance like Prince did with the Muppets. And also my chinchillas. Those are actual real live animals. So I bring my chinchillas on. PJ, not my chinchillas. I brought Mo once, and Mo is not allowed because he stopped the stream. He hopped from my arms onto the computer. First, he changed the song on me, and then he didn't stop the stream. He almost stopped the stream, but he changed the song. Yep. No, guys, you were then. Didn't change. Restarted, right? He restarted. And it was so crazy because I was playing Chlorine Bacon Skin, and it's already like, what is it, a 15-minute song, and I was 7 minutes into it, and then he restarts the song. So I was like, okay, Mo, you are not coming on anymore. But PJ is a ladies' man. I bring him, and he goes right in front of the screen. He's like, hi, girls, just look at me. He's just posing in front of the screen. So yeah, PJ comes on usually during, I think, Everlasting Now. I think it's one of the longer ones when I can comfortably get him out of the cage and then put him back. Yeah, I think it's. What did somebody say just now? Okay, oh, you're doing that. Okay, this is a website from Australia. Thank you. Yes, is this going to stay on? Can I click on it later? One sec.
I can send it to you, but yeah. I don't know if you can click on it, but we'll make sure it's highlighted, but it'll be in the comments on Facebook around the 138 mark. If you need to go back to it, I can send it to you as well later.
Okay.
Our work is amazing, for sure.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to look at these comments. Like when we are done, I'm going to read all of this. You know what? In the comments, do you guys have any questions, or do you want to say anything? Anyone?
Go for it. Let's open it up before anything. But yes, now this is the time, because there was people asking questions, but I'm not going to interrupt the storytelling.
I think that's about it, because it's chinchillas and it's wine, and I had an incident when my wine that you guys, oh my God. And I was so set on being on time that night. You remember my wine story, right? I bought this new wine opener, and I didn't know, like, I opened it, I didn't know it was going to be so big. So I opened a package. It comes from Amazon. You know how I even got that wine opener? I needed hand soap. No joke. I needed hand soap, and Target was out. Everybody was out. So I was like, okay, I'm going to buy hand soap on Amazon. And there was like the 6, you could buy, like, I was like, okay, I'm going to reach the $35 so that I get free shipping. So I put 6 packages of hand soap in my cart. And then they say, oh, because of COVID, we can only sell you 1. I'm like, all right, so I'm going to buy this soap for $3.50 and pay $5 shipping. I'm like, fuck it, I'm not doing it. So I know, right? So I'm just gonna make up the $35 with something. So, but I didn't need anything. I just went shopping. So I started buying out. I bought a wine opener and a cup warmer. Like you can put your tea on it, and it looks like a mini, like a little thing that you circle and you keeps your tea warm. Like this is awesome. That wine opener was like $20. I was like, okay, this is gonna make up to 35 altogether. And it showed up, and it can I say is all adults here? It looked like a giant dildo, and I was like, this is really weird looking, but then it's okay, I'll make it work. So I put it on a bottle, and I didn't know that it's like electric, and I'm not supposed to press down. I'm just supposed to sort of like hold it. And I pressed down, and it kept pushing the cork inside instead of actually grabbing the cork and pulling it out. And I'm like, I'm doing something wrong. I don't know what I'm doing. So then I take it out, and the cork is halfway through, and okay, I'm gonna try it again. So I go, and it didn't. It kept pushing it through. Like, okay, I don't have a choice right now. I don't know what to do. So I don't know what I took. It was something that fit, maybe some type of a stick. I took something, and I decided I'm gonna just like slam it into so that the cork goes inside. Little did I know that the cork expands and the wine goes so high, right? So it goes in and it goes boom, and the wine exploded. It went on my t-shirt, it went on the cabinets, it went on the wall, on the fridge and stove behind me, on the floor, and it's red wine. And I'm thinking, Jesus, this is not fun. I am already almost late. And so I just went on Facebook and Instagram, and I posted, this is not gonna happen. I gotta get, because everything is sort of like light gray. In my kitchen, I'm like, I cannot let this sit for 3 hours. This is gonna stain. So that was my little wine incident, and then, yeah. Oh, and then I put that little thing on it on top. I don't even know what it is. That thing that pours alcohol, and I think it's one for whiskey. So then on top of everything, I'm holding it, and the cork that was inside got stuck in it also. So I'm trying to pour it on air, and I'm holding it for 2 minutes, and it's not happening. And I'm just like, this is just not going to happen. This wine is giving me. When I get to this wine, I will drink so much of it. It's not even funny. So yeah.
Hilarious. Now, a question that someone had is about you playing drums or Prince making you play drums.
Oh yeah, I didn't say that one. Yes.
Floor is yours if you want to talk about it.
It was a party. I think, I don't know how many people were there. It was not big, maybe 20, 30 people or something like that. And he goes, come with me. So I come with him, and he goes like, just sit down over here. I'm like, behind the drums? He goes, yeah. I don't play drums. And he goes, no, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. I'm like, okay. And the thing is that DJ was playing. So there was actually music playing. I was supposed to play to the music. Not even have headphones. So not only there's feedback, right? And so Prince stands behind me, and he holds my arms. And at that time, this was right shortly after he, that attraction thing or whatever. So then he like smells my neck, and he goes like, you smell so good. I'm like, though, this is totally making me feel comfortable. People are gathering over here because you are standing behind me on drums. They don't give a shit about me, but they want to see you. And now I am going to play drums for all of these people. And he goes like, okay, that's kick drum over there. Put your foot on that pedal over there and just like hit it. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm hitting that. And he goes like, think of that. That's when you dance. That's your butt. And I'm like, you are making me like so uncomfortable right now. This is So now I'm supposed to play kick drum and think of my butt while you are standing behind me with your nose next to my neck and holding my arms. And you're like, don't do nothing with your arms. I'm going to play the drum. I'm like, okay. So I'm trying to keep the rhythm, and he's moving my arms, but they are sort of moving a little bit out of the way. Everything sounds, in today's world, if you can think of like some funk playing from the DJ booth mixed with dubstep. This was before dubstep, but that's what it would be. It was like, to say terrible, I don't, that doesn't even come close. Doesn't even come close. Yeah. I was so happy when I got off those drums. I wish I had sunglasses on that night. I did not want to see people. It was really bad. I think I walked up to every single person and apologized for what they had to hear. I think because, yeah, I still apologize, but I used to apologize a lot. And I believe I apologized to everyone. That was an experience. Yep, I was going to leave that one out. And
They kept asking over and over again. I'm like, all right, let me do this one. Another one that someone had is about a freedom picture, the significance of the freedom picture.
Oh, it was, lately I found myself feeling being very much in a moment. I don't know. Maybe it's a part of my little, when I stopped streaming and just sort of kind of like processing and it's like weird to say like I'm in my 40s and like just say to get to know myself, but getting to know myself and becoming, when you hit like these stages in your life, when you sort of get you feel like you feel growth and you feel like something just hits and changes a little bit, and I'm going through one of those right now, and I'm also feeling very in a moment and not afraid to do whatever the hell enters my mind. And it was middle of the night, and I think I was online and I saw a video from Ice Cube and another one from, am I pronouncing his name right? Michael Rappaport? Is that his last name?
Yes.
Rappaport?
Yes.
So I saw his video and I saw a video from Ice Cube and I, started seeing some Trump stuff again. And I'm just like, and everything just sort of like came to me how shitty things are really, and I don't know how it came. And then I started thinking about Madonna in the middle of that. These are my thoughts in the middle of the night. It's really weird. And how Madonna did. She does a lot of controversial art. She's done it for years. Like when she did American Life and all of that. Like, is this your nighttime look right now? I should turn the lights off.
No.
And like
Go ahead.
people sometimes do
Talk about
things
Madonna.
like when she will post a picture and it's political, but it has to do with art and it has to do with a little bit of like it's a little bit of naughty and a little sexuality and blah blah blah, and it's sort of exposed, and comfort. I have it as well. I know.
I just had it behind there recently because I have Randy's book there.
How beautiful
I thought
is
it's
that?
funny that you brought it up.
How beautiful is
It
that
is.
inside? Oh God.
It's interesting. Except
just-
for Vanilla Ice.
But it was a feeling of I felt like I felt like I had something to say, and I felt brave and I felt comfortable in my skin and I felt free and it felt good, and so I decided I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna stand in my bathroom and I'm gonna turn on the portrait mode and I'm just gonna do snap snap snap, and I think 47 selfies later I liked that one or something like that. It's a lot of them. They are all really really bad, and this one is okay, maybe. I don't know.
Very interesting.
Yeah, and also
I-
I'm comfortable because like I'm nowhere near perfect. You know what I mean? Like I'm like like I
Aren't
don't
we all
have
not
six
perfect?
pack and you know what I mean? Like I don't have your fitness body, and just to feel comfortable. Like I'm thin. I know I'm thin, but I don't have like this. Like I never go to the gym, so I don't have like that, like the definition and all of that stuff. And just to feel comfortable to post something, it felt good. It felt good, and everything that I posted that goes along with it, because we, I believe that we are all family. We are.
Being comfortable in your own skin is perfect.
Yeah.
Period. Whether you have the abs or other things or not. As long as you're comfortable in your own skin, that's what matters.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Now,
It's really crazy what's going on in the world, because it's not only, I don't know if COVID is contributing, because it is easy to lose your mind when stuff like that is going on for a long, long time. From the beginning, it can be, oh, it's fun. We're gonna get some downtime, and we're just gonna sort of reset our chip. But then when it goes on for 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, I find myself I miss people. I really do. I miss hugging people. I
Let me
need
tell you.
other human beings. I don't, it's not, yeah.
It's tough.
It's not,
I'm
yeah.
with you, and I see your post, and I thank you for your post. And it's really tough for someone. I don't have family. I don't have a lot of people, and I'll go weeks without seeing someone unless I'm going to Target or other places. It's tough.
It's tough.
And I'll be honest about that. It takes a lot. I'll go on drives just to get out to listen to my music.
Yeah.
But it's really tough.
Yeah. I'm really hoping it's gonna. I mean, the thing is, the hard part is we don't know how long this is gonna continue. You know, I haven't even watched. I'm gonna be honest. I don't even turn the TV on because I'm one of those people who take everything in, and I can only take so much. Even when it comes to reading about COVID or politics or anything, before it completely brings me down, and I just go and I just lay down and start crying. So I don't wanna. I just cannot do it, and it may sound selfish that I'm distancing myself from that, you know, but it's not that I'm selfish or that I'm ignorant and don't care. I can only take so much. So I don't even know right now what is going on with COVID right now. Is it still rising? This is a dumb question, I know, but is it?
At different places, but what's going to happen is because of Labor Day, at least out here, there were so many people at the beach because our malls are closed, the movie theaters are closed. And like I said, we were dealing with 121 degree heat. And some people in LA, they do not have air conditioners and other things going on because there's other parts in LA where they just for a few days, if they're in Santa Monica, they can have their window open and get cool air. That wasn't like this. I knew people that were in Santa Monica that actually stayed at a hotel this past weekend just so they can have air conditioning. So it was pretty bad, but so many people were at the beach and out. So I'm sure even though our numbers were dropping in LA, we're going to get it going up again because people wanted to get out to escape the heat. So it's frustrating.
That is, I didn't know. See, like when I lived in Dallas, I think it was like a rule. What do you call it? Like a law. You have to have air conditioning for safety. I thought it was the same in Los Angeles because it gets so hot.
Nah, that's why like in West Hollywood, it was only one company. I wish it was all of California, but there was a company in West Hollywood that if there was elderly people or handicapped people that didn't have fans or air conditioner, that they were bringing them box fans and a case of water.
Oh my!
So that was pretty cool.
That is crazy. Do you guys know the forecast? How long is this heat supposed to be going? Do you know?
They keep saying it's supposed to be in the 90s the past few days, like high 90s and high hundreds, but it's actually been a little bit lower. I don't, excuse me, know if it's because of the fires that have been going on, but it hasn't been as hot the past few days, and I don't want to curse it. And I see people here saying it's been hot in Vegas and hot in Arizona. We were actually hotter than Vegas, and that is absolutely ridiculous. That's why I'd be putting on my Facebook post, Vegas and Arizona, come get your freaking weather, because it's not supposed to be like in LA. Yes, LA always has warm temperatures all year round. We don't have seasons, but 121 degrees is absolutely ridiculous.
I can't even imagine.
Let's talk about something cooler that I saw someone brought about before I know, because I don't want to keep you too late and whatnot, because I know you got other things, but someone brought up about a Sam Smith after party and wanted me to ask you about that. Do you know what they're talking about?
Was it?
Sam Smith.
Oh, okay. I think I know.
Okay.
Is that the one?
If you want to share.
No, I'm trying to think if it was. And then, okay, and after that, remind me, George Clinton and Miho. Okay, Miho, if you're still there. Was the Sam Smith one the one when it was private?
He never showed.
Was it
That's
private?
what someone said.
Okay, Natalie and Miko, are we talking about that one?
Natalie is, I believe so, yes. And she said he never showed.
Okay, no, Sam didn't, but are we talking about the little private one that you guys went with me?
Yes, she said yes.
All right. So it was me. Yes, yeah. So we were there. So I brought you guys. They let you come in. They were super nice, and it was just Prince and Hannah, Josh, and I think Hannah's mom and dad, or Josh's mom and dad, some family members. It was only like a few, 5, 6, 7 people, and I think it was supposed to be an after party for Sam Smith. Sam Smith never came, so then I ended up DJing, but I was set up. It was really weird. It was in the Love of One. I keep calling it Love of One Another Room, guys. I'm gonna wail. I'm gonna wail. I'm going to forever is what I meant to say. Sorry, I will forever. Whatever. I'm trying to say 2 things at the same time. It wasn't on stage, but my DJ booth was set up like right in front of it. It was really weird, just like it was a table on the floor. And it was a wide. My stuff only took up half of the table, and then halfway through, Josh came and he set up a computer, and then Prince came and started DJing with me, and then he eventually took over. So the fun part was, first I was playing "Work It" by Missy Elliott, and he comes in with Sherilyn, "Got to Be Real," and I'm like, that's just not gonna mix into it. And he goes like, no, 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 it's a funky song. I'm like, no, I know it's a funky song, but it's not gonna mix into "Work It," trust me. So he goes and he just starts playing "Got to Be Real" into it. It's completely offbeat. For anybody who knows about DJing, we're going from like 102 BPM to 115, and he doesn't even do a transition. It's just, oh, like I'm grinding my teeth. Okay, just do it. You're in your house. It's fine. So he does that transition, and then he's just going, I'm just going to DJ. So it's like, okay. So he stops that song, or lets it play out, and instead of DJing, and that's where I heard, you guys probably saw the story that I posted after Janelle Monáe released Make Me Feel. And when I posted that story on Facebook about that line, that synth line, when she says, I don't know how the lyrics go, I'm powerful, and then that's heavy synth, kind of like before the chorus starts, and it's just that line that goes into it. So he started playing this instrumental, heavy funk song with that line, and that's where Ned and Miko and those few people who were there with him got to hear that. And then I didn't even know, because this was 2015 maybe, or something like that, 2014, 2015. So this was before, long before Janelle. When did Janelle, 2018, her album came out? I think beginning of 2018 or late 2017.
Yeah.
Something like that, right?
That one.
And as soon as that song came out, and as soon as that synth line hit, I was like, oh my God. That's it. He gave that to her, because all I remember, it was so funky. I remember when he played that, I what is happening here? It was so like one of those things that go under your skin. It was so raw and just so penetrating. I couldn't forget it. I was like, I want to know. Finish the song. I want to hear the song. And then he never finished, but gave it to her. So, and then when that hit on her song, okay, this is it. I'm just feeling it right now. The same thing just went under my skin, just like that. And yeah, so that was that party that Sam Smith never showed up. And then Miho.
Crazy.
Miho, are you here?
I don't think she is anymore, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh God, George Clinton after party. I think 2000. I don't know, 2001, 2002, maybe. This is like early 2000s. Funny. We went to see George Clinton, me and Miho, and it was George when he had a lot of fun days, let's put it that way. So he was playing, I'm not sure, I think it was a Fine Line, maybe. He was supposed to go on at 9:00, and the band kept playing. Later, the cook from Fine Line told me that George was incredibly stoned, standing in a kitchen looking at the food for 3.5 hours. So needless to say, George gets on stage at 12:30 a.m. We're all in the room like, okay, where's George? He gets on stage at 12:30 a.m. He stands facing the band. His back is to the crowd, and he just stands there and just nods for another 20 minutes or something like that. Then he turns around. It's close to 1 a.m. He gets on a mic and he goes, "Woof." And we go, okay. And he keeps going. 5 minutes later, "Woof." Like, okay, the show is going to start tonight. This is awesome. I think it was about 1:15. And then he goes into this 20-minute version of Harder Steel. Do you know that song? Harder Steel and Still Getting Harder. And then his niece, who was like 20 years old at that time, starts singing that with him. And then I'm singing like, at that time, 65 or whatever year old George and his 18, 19-year-old niece singing Harder Steel together. This is really weird at almost 2:00 in the morning at Fine Line. Anyway, they go a little bit over 2. It's like, I think they let them play until like 2:30 or something like that. And then Miho and I go, hey, let's go to Paisley. Is there after party at Paisley? Nobody knew. And like, nobody said anything. Let's just go out there. So we go out there. Takumi is there. Takumi lets us in. and it's nobody at Paisley Park, just me and Miho. And I'm like, okay, let's just go up there and let's just sit on that couch under the DJ booth. So we sit on that couch under the DJ booth. It's about, I think at this point, 3:30 in the morning. Nothing is going on. We keep sitting there. 4 o'clock in the morning, George Clinton walks in a room by himself, just George. I'm like, okay, we'll take it. So he comes in, he walks right by us, doesn't say anything, goes up to the DJ booth. He had some CDs with him. He goes up to the DJ booth and he starts playing his own song. Slowly makes his way down, goes on the dance floor. It's a long version of the song, 12-inch version of the song. On the dance floor, he dances by himself to that whole song. The song stops. He walks up to the DJ booth, plays another one of his own songs, goes back down. This keeps happening until about 5 a.m., by the way. Just George DJing for himself, playing his own songs, completely stoned out of his mind. 5 a.m., Prince enters the room, and he just walks up to us, says hi to us, asks us if we are having a good time. We are having a good time. So now it's Prince standing at the soundboard, us sitting on a couch, and George Clinton keeps going up and down till 7 a.m. playing George Clinton songs and keeps dancing on the stage. Then he walks up to Prince. They leave together. Party's over. Me and Miho leave. 7:30 a.m. That's what happened. That was the after party of George.
Wow.
And we're like, okay, this is something we will never forget.
For sure.
Yep. It was sort of one of those that happened, and we let it happen. You know?
Awesome.
So yeah.
Now, Lenka, because I'm going to let you go because I know you have other things to do. We've been at the 2-hour mark, but I appreciate you so much being on. Is there anything that you want to say in closing that you weren't able to say yet at all?
I think I said
the floor is yours.
I think I said too much. No, thank you guys. I didn't get to see all the comments because I'm looking at the screen, but I'm gonna read all of the comments. I'm really excited to read the comments, and thank you for how many people do we have here? Can you tell? I can't see numbers, anything.
Total at one time all together, because it gives us the main thing. I think we had around 120 to 130 that were logged in through Facebook and YouTube.
Oh, nice.
And Twitch. But there is other people that aren't logged in that watch it that may not have Facebook or YouTube, so it doesn't count those numbers. Yeah. But of course, sometimes we don't get them to watch live because we're in the middle of the night overseas. There are some people from Australia that are here because it's mid-afternoon, and there is some people that actually wake up at 3 a.m. to watch the show overseas. So I appreciate all of you guys. Yeah. But that's why they're able to not only watch it live, but watch it afterwards. And then, if you go back through Facebook or through here, they'll see your comments. Maybe not the people on YouTube, but if they want, if you respond on Facebook, they'll see, at least the people on Facebook will see everything.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm gonna read all of the comments. So yeah, if I didn't, if
someone just said this,
I didn't.
Let's see, I'll put it on screen. Whoops. And of course my mouse is weirding out right now. But someone said that there's over 600 comments. It's going to take you hours to read them all. So they say good luck with that.
I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna cook tonight. So I'm gonna cook, and then I'm gonna just kind of like slowly eat and scroll and read, eat and read at the same time. That's what I'm. And
I really appreciate you.
I shouldn't say that. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm tempted, but I'm not gonna do it.
You do what you want. I'll probably do an after show for people just to see if how everything went. But I am so glad that you were on, and I want to have you on again.
Really?
But of course.
Okay. Yes. Let's do it.
But
let's have a lot of people join us and just chat with them. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. The thing is that was our first time doing it since we did a show back in 2012, 2013. I think it went well, and we don't need a test. I think everyone knows what they're doing in quarantine and with Zoom calls. So we'll have more people on. But of course, the next time you're doing Paisley Park After Dark, I'd love to have you on the week before that, and then afterwards have people on again. But definitely, I love having the fans on because I keep telling everyone this is their show too. Albeit there's certain things we won't talk about, but there is, it is their show, and I love having people like you on and so many others. Yeah. And I really think it was great today that we were able to talk about John Blackwell a lot, especially on the anniversary of his birthday.
Yeah, see, I'm so bad with birthdays. Jesus, I hardly remember my own. I did not even know. That's bad,
But
right?
it's just one of those things that's great because you were telling a story that maybe a lot of people didn't know about him auditioning and all these
Yeah.
things. That's awesome.
And I haven't been
Yeah.
online today. Besides, I retweeted was it your not retweeted, Instagrammed story. I was tagged in a story about
Oh,
this is happening, and I just added to your story. So I added it to my story, and that was my time online. Like I did nothing. So I have no. That's why I didn't even see about a birthday or anything. So
it's all good. Yes. But again, thank you so much for being on. And again, I'm going to be bugging you to come back on.
no,
So
thank
just
you.
know
This
that.
was fun. I was afraid that I will have nothing to say. You can't shut me up. So you see this?
See, and you have nothing to say. We were 2 hours and we probably do double that. So of
We
course
could.
you have stuff to say. And you just got to I asked the questions and I set it up and you knock it down and I let you go. We don't have like a certain time limit. So people are able to get out the lengthy stories that they can share. And I'm sure there's going to be something that you're going to think of in the middle of the night, like, oh man, wish we talked about that. But that's why we'll have you on next time for
Probably.
sure.
Okay. Yeah. This is
All
fun. And I
right.
didn't even know. See, this is how I don't know anything. I didn't even know you do these on Wednesdays. So now I'm going to watch. I'm going to start watching.
It's all good. And see, I made sure because that's when we were doing our old shows was on Wednesdays as well. And I didn't want to be doing stuff the same nights that you do stuff. Sometimes we'll have a guest on Friday night, but that's when we couldn't get them on Wednesday. But I don't want to compete with you and Dudley doing the stuff on Monday nights with Paisley nights or whatever, knowing that you have your events on Friday. So hopefully we just set up for that, for you to have people switch over to that. But we
Yeah.
try to have Wednesdays so we don't compete with anyone else.
And that's perfect. It's like something throughout the week, but not every night. You have a little bit
Exactly.
of, yeah, it's spread out nicely. Yeah. It's the hump day.
Yes. Although I
On
ain't
Wednesdays,
nobody humping around here like Bobby Brown. All good. All right, Lenka. Thank you so much for your time. Guys, I'm going to close up so you don't have to leave. But Lenka, thank you so much for your time. It's really, really appreciated. And thank you for being you.
Yeah. And, I don't know how to be anyone else. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And thank you, everybody. I will get through those comments. Tonight, I will.
All
I'm
right.
usually late on comments, but I will.
Okay. Have fun drinking the wine later on tonight.
I don't know. Maybe later, but yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you. Like this. Thank you. Thank you. I have to speak on a mic.
There you go. It worked out great.
It did.
Yes. All right. Have a good night. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to try. We'll get real quick comments from you. Should I do an after show? Although we've done like 2 hours, it'll be a small after show. But if you guys want it, I'll do it. And I just put up the PayPal link. If you guys want to donate, it's up to you. I'm just putting it out there for that. And then for Venmo, sorry, I don't have all these things ready. And then with Cash App, I think because someone was asking for that. It's always appreciated. We're going to be getting that mount on the wall hopefully soon, so you guys aren't seeing me look to the right as much. I know it can be problematic, but I'm just trying to bring in your comments and let you guys know that it's being watched. And whoops, apparently that didn't work right for YouTube, other stuff, but that's for Cash App. But should we do like a small after show? You guys let me know. Whatever, it's not doing it right. I'm not going to waste your guys' time with that. All right, so what I'm going to do is log off, give me a little bit of a break. Someone name a Prince era real quick, and maybe I'll wear that for the after show. I'll have something from that. So you guys say something quick. I could put on something from Rave since you talked about the Rave era. So that's what I'm going to do. Rave era, we're going to pull out something to wear. I think I have a hoodie, although it could be a little warm for that, but we'll see what's going on. Thank you guys so much for subscribing, for sharing on YouTube, Facebook Live. Always appreciate you guys. Twitch, Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, and I appreciate you guys in these times. so much. But give me a little bit of time and I will be right back. Till then, keep it funky, y'all.